Hi, I'm Jason Bergquist. I'm the proud owner of retirementofyourdreams.com. Today, I'll discuss part one of my three-part video series about how to set money goals to create the retirement of your dreams. Specifically, this video is for you if you're struggling to gain clarity about what you want in retirement, and then how to turn right around and get what you want. You can't experience retirement of your dreams if you don't know what your dream is in the first place. And it all starts with your money goals. So, what are your money goals? What do they look like to you? We have to figure out what those money goals are to be able to start now to create the retirement of your dreams in your future. This video will give you the process of setting money goals, which works for anybody at any age. You'll discover in this video through three different exercises. Exercise 1, a glimpse into your retirement future, and some questions to aid you in your planning. Exercise 2, exploring your bucket list and establishing priorities. Exercise 3, determining how to develop a budget or spending plan. Now, let me introduce myself if we still need to meet. I'm Jason Bergquist. I got into this business to help people create the retirement of their dreams. And I've been doing this for over 20 years. So I've been seeing all the ups and downs of the market since 2000. My whole goal was to help educate people, help them understand how to set up the retirement of their dreams and bring hope back into their lives. I realized this was my calling back in about 2010 when I was personally going through my own divorce. And at that time, I was really at a financial low. And I realized that I wasn't practicing what I preached. I've been teaching these principles for over 10 years, but I personally hadn't implemented them. So I was at a financial low. So I can understand where a lot of you might be coming from. But I determined right then and there that I would start practicing what I preached. And I added to my experience, and I left the corporate world through financial planning of Merrill Lynch, and I became an independent financial professional and a certified financial fiduciary. So I took all of my experience from all of my years, and I started to focus on what was really in the best interest of retirement planning for my clients. There's a lot of different terminologies or information out there, but I wanted to specifically look at how to make sure you never run out of money and put the right things in place to make sure that you have that guaranteed income for the rest of your life, no matter how long you or your spouse live. So again, I'm going to cover part one of 3 on how to set money goals to create the retirement of your dreams. So the 3 different exercises are: 1, a glimpse into your retirement future and some questions to aid in your planning. Exercise 2, exploring your bucket list and establishing priorities. And exercise 3, determine how to develop a budget or spending plan. All right, so let's jump in. Exercise 1, a glimpse into your retirement future and some questions to aid in your planning. I always ask everybody I'm working with about retirement. Doesn't matter what age they are, I ask them some ideas and thoughts and goals and what the future looks like. So as we create these money goals together, I want to know what the future looks like to you, what you want that to be. We'll discuss all of this in our money goals, but I want to start from the end and work our way backwards, okay? So I'm asking at whatever age I'm meeting with people, what does retirement look like for you? Whether for some people that is, 1 year, 5 year, or even 20 or 40 years down the road. Again, most people actually reply and they say, I don't know. I'm going to go through this exercise with you and ask you a couple of questions to help you. When do you want to retire? Everybody says now, but that's not reality for most people. So most people seem to answer 65. Or I get a lot of, I'll retire, 6 feet under, meaning I'm going to work until I die. But those that give the 65 answer, most people can't tell me why it's 65 when I ask them. They just have that number for some reason in their head. So please give this some real thought. What do you want to do in retirement? If we were to take money off the table, so it's not a part of the conversation about what you want to do in retirement, what would it look like for you? Is it traveling? Is it golfing? Is it playing tennis? Is it buying a second home? Is it moving to Hawaii or a different country? Is it spending time with your kids? Is it taking the family that you have on cruises or big vacations? By the way, if you want my team and I to walk through this exercise with you, we would love to. There's an opportunity for you to schedule a free Retirement of Your Dreams call at the end of this video. And we'll walk you through this process and we'll help you figure it out and see what those dreams are for your retirement. So when I do this with my clients, I get many questions. But the first question I always seem to get, or the answer I seem to get, is, I don't know. Because they haven't thought about retirement like this before. And I get that because when we're in our day-to-day and we're working every day, we don't really have time to stop and think about what that retirement looks like. But maybe you've got parents or grandparents that you've seen go into those retirement years. What does it look like for them, and what do you want yours to be, similar or different? So sometimes this process can actually be very therapeutic for my clients. And I often find that when I'm talking with husband and wife or spouses, I get the most out of this exercise for me and for them. Sometimes it becomes a bit of a marriage therapy because they're not on the same page. They've never discussed it. They've never even thought about it, or at least not together. For instance, my favorite story is when I sat down with a younger couple. They were in their mid to late 30s at this point, and I asked them, what does retirement look like? And without skipping a beat, the husband answers saying, I want to go to the movie theaters and see any movie I want right when it comes out, premiere night, Friday night, prime time, whatever. Then he continues, I want to be able to buy whatever drinks, popcorn, treats I want. I don't want to care about what the movie or the night costs me. And she looked at him and said, I had no idea you even cared about going to brand new movies. So to listen to this story in full, I go into more detail about it. Go back to money status in those videos and look at step 2, which is money status, and look at part 2 of 3. But basically, he avoided going to the movies because he considered it to be too expensive. So the two of them had to start thinking about what they each wanted. In other words, start creating those money goals. And if you have a spouse, start to discuss them. What does each of you want to do? At this point, we're just scratching the surface regarding retirement planning. As we embark on this next exercise, we aim to gain a deeper understanding and achieve clarity about your retirement dreams, ensuring you make informed decisions now to get what you want in your financial future. Okay, so on to exercise 2, explore your bucket list and establish its priorities. There's a movie called The Bucket List starring Morgan Freeman and Jack Nicholson. I would suggest you all go watch this. It might give you some great ideas, plus it's super funny. But your bucket list is a list that describes all the things you want to do before you die. Most people can answer some of the things that they have on their bucket list. But as we discuss that bucket list, we naturally get to more detail, or I start to pull more details out of you. Most people describe vacations, travel, spending time with families, whatever. So I want to go deeper than that. Where do you want to go when you travel? How much do you want to travel? Are you trying to get out of the country every month? Or is that too much time on the airplane, too many days in a hotel? Most people aren't looking to do that monthly, but some might. Then we're going to start prioritizing this list. Like, where do you want to go? When I usually ask this question to husband and wife, the husband usually says, I don't know. And then he continues, ask my wife. Wherever she wants to go, well, that's where I'm going. It's always pretty funny. And it seems to happen almost every time. The answer might be, I want a golf membership, so I can go golf as much as I want to, but I don't have to golf, or it doesn't matter when I go, I can just get up and go anytime I want to. For instance, a client didn't want to travel when we went through his bucket list, but his wife did. So instead, he wanted to create a budget where the money that they were putting aside would allow his wife to go on that vacation. And of course, she didn't want to go by herself. So they wanted to budget enough money in where she could take her sisters or her girlfriend. Then him choosing what he wanted to do while she was gone, but setting up a plan where they could go and he could allow her to travel even if he didn't want to go out of the country. He actually wanted to stay back because he had other plans. In his lifetime, he had been part of a Ferrari club, and he wanted to have the money to join that club again and race again. Their bucket list was fantastic. I half jokingly told him I wanted to join that Ferrari club and go racing with him. Now, I really would love to do that. So I might be adding that to my bucket list. So what's on your bucket list? Imagine we just discussed having, that Ferrari club or the golf membership or the travel or whatever you want to do. Well, now let's talk about, what is it going to cost you? Do you want to fly first class? Do you want to stay in 5-star hotels? What kind of budget do we need to come up with? That's right. It's exciting, right? First, you talk about your bucket list, and then we prioritize that bucket list. And this is the process I take all of my clients through, because when we get to exercise 3, we'll just start discussing the spending plan or how to do it. So in exercise 3, we want to determine how to develop a budget, or I prefer to call it a spending plan, because we are just spending that money, right? Going and doing the things we want to do in retirement. So what does that spending plan look like? So it would be awesome if we could just take money off the table, right? If that didn't matter in retirement. But for most of us, money is holding us back, or at least we think it is. So first, we must determine what that budget looks like, or what that spending plan is. We have to know that all of your expenses are covered every single month. In other words, your fixed income covers your fixed expenses. We want to have a plan not just for your expenses, but then on top of making sure that your expenses are covered, we want to talk about that discretionary income, right? That extra that we're putting aside every single month. So again, what does retirement look like to you? For instance, you might want $2,000 a month above and beyond all your expenses. That tells me you want to start adding and saving an extra $2,000 a month, which means you have a $24,000 budget for travel expenses, golfing, whatever's on that bucket list per year. I want you to start thinking and dreaming like this. More importantly, I want you to dream big, right? So determine what additional money is coming in every single month, and we want to make sure that money is guaranteed, right? Because if all of your expenses are covered and you get to add an extra $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 per month on guaranteed income that's coming in to create that budget, we can start to really consider what that retirement might look like. And as I talk to a lot of people, there might be more things you want to do earlier in retirement, right? When you're a little bit younger, maybe have more energy. So create that plan. No matter what's going on in your life, let's make sure money's coming in, it's sitting in that bank account so that you can go and do those things that you want, because you know your spending plan is the budget. Imagine you know how much is coming in every month to create that discretionary income. My clients routinely talk about how great it would be to know how much money was coming in every single month to be putting into that vacation plan or whatever it is that you want. In addition, we obviously have to know exactly what those fixed expenses are. So let me illustrate to you this way. As I was working through this with my client, Anne, she told me that she wanted $2,000 a month extra and had an idea of what she wanted in her retirement and what it looked like to her. We already prioritized her bucket list. And she said, okay, it looks like I can bring in an extra $2,000 a month above and beyond my expenses. But she's anticipating already on going on 2 or 3 big trips per year. So she knew with the plan that we created, and what you can know is, well, what if there was an extra $2,000 a month coming in every single month? So she could think to herself, hey, in 3 months from now, I could go on a cruise and have the $6,000 to do it. Having a $6,000 put aside for a cruise or wherever that trip is, you can pretty much do whatever you would like. But if she wanted to go even bigger, maybe she wanted a balcony room or a suite, maybe she wanted to travel and do something else and go to a 5-star hotel or fly first class, right? Then maybe she had to wait 4 or 5 months and have $8,000 or $10,000 that she could spend on that trip. Can you see this process and how it empowers you to create the retirement of your dreams? So to recap, what we covered today in part 1 of 3 on how to set money goals to create the retirement of your dreams includes these 3 exercises. Exercise 1, a glimpse into your retirement future and some questions to aid in your planning. Exercise 2, exploring your bucket list and establishing priorities. And exercise 3, determine how to develop a spending plan. So now that you understand how your money goals are coming into play, I invite you to request a free retirement of your dream call by clicking here. Stay tuned for part 2 next week, which will explore the types of money goals you can use in the plan for your retirement. In the meantime, watch my free video to discover my 9-step retirement of your dreams blueprint by clicking here. Thank you for considering retirement of your dreams as your partner in your financial journey. I'm committed to empowering you to achieve the financial dreams and have that retirement of your dreams. This is Jason Bergquist. I can't wait to meet you. See you next week for part 2.